management, including the board. Mr. Kang is here. The headmaster, Mr. Dikshit. We have General Baraj from Mohali, the director of Mohali YPS. The management, the alumni, the staff, the students, and last but not the least, the guests, the parents, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very august occasion, a very ceremonial occasion. I am a motivational speaker, former IAS officer. I feel inspired to be here. I feel as if I have been motivated and inspired today. My congratulations to all the award winners. Let's have a round of applause for them. All the awardees, all the achievers, all the merit holders, all those who have been celebrated and feted today. I was mentioning to some of them when they were coming up for the prizes that it is important not to rest on your laurels. You always keep soaring higher. You cannot consider this achievement to be the finale or the pinnacle of your journey. There will be higher mountains to conquer. There will be peaks which are more important. And as Edmund Hillary, Sir Edmund Hillary, who conquered Mount Everest, he said, I didn't conquer the mountain, I conquered myself. When you achieve something, you have conquered a certain amount of fear, worry, trepidation, anxiety, inhibition, a certain amount of you cannot do this in your mind tells you to give up. But you have overcome all that and achieved something, attained something, climbed that peak. A school of excellence like YPS Patiala, where we are now, is a school that inspires not only today but tomorrow and past generations. If you look at the alumni, and I meet many of them in other places, being a public speaker, I humbly say that I speak about 5 to 6 times a week, and I meet a lot of your alumni here and there. They are a tribute to your institution. And I must also say that this school, although I'm here for the first time, I've been hearing about it, I've been meeting your alumni, and I was Director IT of Chandigarh at one point, and I used to meet a lot of young people who had studied here, excelling in IT. We gave an award just now which looked like a laptop, a trophy, so beautifully designed. One of the awards was a study cup. My main tribute to the institution that I would like to make is that you have been able to marry tradition with modernity, culture with maybe AI, the firmness, the groundedness, the foundation, the consolidation of so many decades with the brightness, the verve, the energy, and what is happening today in the world. These two have to be amalgamated. On the one hand, that great tradition. On the other hand, looking forward to tomorrow and day after tomorrow and next year and the next century. Your headmaster, being very new, almost as new as me, because I am on day 1 and he is on day 27, not much difference. No, I am not becoming your whatever, I am going after today. But what I am trying to say is that he gave a very distinguished speech on his vision for the future. Sometimes visions are difficult to implement, but with earnestness, with cohesion, with collaboration, with togetherness, with understanding, with empathy, with teamwork, we can do so. We can implement the impossible at times. I want to talk about leadership because it was mentioned. All of us in this hall are leaders in our own right. Even the poorest of the poor, even the uneducated, somebody who is sending money home after working hard, driving or pulling a rickshaw, sending home money through his or her savings, is a leader. A 4-year-old is a leader to a 2-year-old. That 2-year-old aspires to become like the 4-year-old. Bhaiya, Didi, you look up to someone. So everybody is a leader in his or her own right, and leadership qualities make whatever a country is or not. Today we lack internationally capable leadership in this world. Unfortunately, the political leaders at the helm of countries today are not exhibiting the kind of statesmanship, the kind of balance, the kind of emotional intelligence, the kind of understanding that should be exhibited by leadership. In the Indian Administrative Service, of which I have been a part, been Deputy Commissioner of Panchkula as well, been Director of Industries, etc., I resigned from the IAS basically to become a speaker, and that's what I do now. But I have seen great leadership exhibited under duress, under pressure. Not everybody is the same, but we need to develop the leadership of tomorrow. And who better, or which institution is better than yours to do that? We are not going to succeed if we are looking only at, we mentioned a student, perhaps Uday Pratap, who's gone to Cornell. His success or the success of others is not going to be measured only by Cornell, or by the placement that he gets, or by the package that he gets. That's not it. Many MBA institutions, and I know I go to ISB and IIMs and I speak, they measure their success by the package. It's not enough. I'm not going to speak for long, but I must say this, and I have a couple of points after that money and power and fame are not going to make you successful. Students, there's a song in Punjabi which is about a Lamborghini. We don't want to sing it right now. We'll sing it at an appropriate occasion. We don't need a Lamborghini to be successful. We don't need to be the most powerful man in the world to be successful, actually. If you look at Mr. Donald Trump, who was the president of the US, you look at Mr. Barack Obama, who was the president of the US, you see two distinct personalities. I would rate one of them to be more successful than the other. You can guess which one I'm talking about. The inner quotient of peace, happiness, calmness, of cheerfulness, of compassion, of character, this is what makes success. Money and power and fame do not necessarily. We aspire and we are ambitious, we try to do better in the world, we try to get better postings, better assignments, better jobs, we set up companies, we are self-employed professionals, we want to do well in the world, no doubt. But who is successful? What is success? Success without happiness, without giving back to society, is no success. So we don't want to be the richest in the world. That's not the goal. You want to bring more smiles to the world. Miles of smiles. People smiling because of you. Not because you're a comedy person or a stand-up. You are able to bring cheer by virtue of your work, your name, your reputation, your image, the way you are, the personality, the persona. That is what makes a person. And we are happy to see the emphasis on sports and debating and speeches, public speaking skills. Both of these are close to my heart. I met a couple of youngsters who came up, and one or two of them were given awards for public speaking. I said, I'm like you, you're like me, we learn from each other. You become better public speakers, I become better at public speaking. One young man was given an award for an essay writing, maybe others as well. So very humbly I must say, I've been writing and I have about 300, 400 pieces published, and each one gives me excitement. And on the informal side, I must tell you that while going from here to Chandigarh back home, I will be writing my next article, which is to be published tomorrow in the Hindustan Times, which I've partly written and I have to finish it. Once a writer, once a speaker, always a writer, always a speaker. And sports is close to my heart. There's nobody more inspiring than Manu Bhaker at the moment. Let's give a round of applause to Manu Bhaker. Those who are unfortunate enough to not be involved in sports, they're missing out something in life. If you could not play sport in your school days, parents, please take more interest in the Olympics and in whatever sport you like. It will bring harmony. It will bring enthusiasm to your life even today. Sports is something which builds character. We learn how to win and how to lose. How to lose means how to handle your losses. Because in sports you don't win always. Neeraj Chopra was a surety for the gold, once again. But the man from Pakistan was so brilliant, Nadeem, that he outscored even Neeraj Chopra on that day. You can't take anything for granted. You can't rest on your laurels. Sports and all-round development. Creative thinking. So somebody who scored 100% marks, the question I asked her was, are you in sports? She said yes. I was delighted. Everybody is supposed to have a sport and an all-round activity here. This is not the time for a long speech. I'm going to close. But I want you to be inspired as parents, as teachers, as students by the thought of being better leaders wherever we are. Have role models like Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw even today. Sam Bahadur. In my talks, I often ask people, how many of you watched this film? I'm not going to ask you today. It's a formal occasion. If you haven't watched Sam Bahadur, please go and watch it one day. And be inspired by the film, by the person. Look forward to emulating this person. 93,000 people surrendered because of the Indian Army and the assurance given by the Chief Manekshaw at that time. The credibility, the leadership qualities exhibited. Be inspired by P.V. Sindhu, Manu Bhaker. Be inspired by ladies and gents who are role models of today. Nobody is perfect, but have a role model to emulate. And then tomorrow be the role model that people have to emulate. I think I've been inspired enough to raise the tempo of the evening, and I'm happy to have done so. It was not at all exhausting to give about 200, we made a double century, prizes today. I was filled with energy because all these kids were filled with energy when they came up. And so was the headmaster and the lady, the ma'am who was giving us the trophies. They were heavy, some of them. And all of you have got books. Please read them. They're not only prizes to display, they are books to read. So my last thought is, those who read and write more are more complete human beings. Read more, write more, be more in sports, be proud of your school, be proud of your parentage, give gratitude for what you have. Your parents have worked hard, look after them into their sunset years. We should not be short of looking after our elderly, even the grandparents, great-grandparents, maybe you have them as well. Look after them. Be good human beings. I think I'm delighted to be here and I wish the school greater laurels, greater success, greater fame and name, and keep in touch. It's a great occasion. My congratulations once more and my best wishes. Jai Hind.